This video is on naming carboxylic acids. Carboxylic acids are terminal carbonyl groups with a hydroxide group bonded to the carbon of the carbonyl. The suffix we use is oic acid, such as in this case, pantanoic acid, pantanoic acid. The numbering always starts at the carbon of the carboxylic acid. So in this case, we don't need to put numbers. If it was, it'd be 1 pantanoic acid. Naming carboxylic acids is relatively easy because carboxylic acid always takes priority. So for example, if I ask you to draw butyroic acid, you should draw the carboxylic acid first and then count 3 from the carbonyl to start your alkene, yielding this structure. As the carboxylic acid takes priority, it also becomes a bit of an issue if it is a substituent. But if it is, we just gotta name it carboxylic acid. So for example, in this case, it is cyclohexane carboxylic acid, as the carboxylic acid is a substituent of this cyclohexane. Just note that even as a substituent, it takes priority. So what would be the name of this structure? You may pause now. And you are correct. It would be 3-chlorocyclopentane carboxylic acid. Now, because carboxylic acids are so ubiquitous in nature and they are relatively stable, they have been known for a long time, and this means that there are lots of common names for carboxylic acids, i.e. ones that were discovered before we figured out that chemicals are actually chemicals. The ones you need to know are formic acid, acetic acid, acid of vinegar, and benzoic acid. As you can't have acids without their conjugate bases, it's useful to know how to name the conjugate bases too. As the base structure does not really change, you usually start with the name of the carboxylic acid. So for example, this propanoic acid. And as we remove the proton of it, we drop the ic acid of it and replace it with ate. So it becomes propanoate, or more accurately, the propanoate salt of propanoic acid. Now, if we know what the counterion is, such as in this case, because we use sodium hydroxide as a base, we would assume it is a sodium counterion. We would call it sodium propanoate. This is what you would expect on the label of the bottle that contains this salt. But enough elaborating. Long story short, if you have a carboxylic acid and you want to name the salt, you drop the ic acid at the end and replace it with ate. So the conjugate base salt of butanoic acid would be sodium butanoate. What about acetic acid? Same rules apply. So it would be, you may pause now. You're right, acetate. Now let's practice. Please draw the structures for the following names and name the following structures. You may pause now. And here are the answers.